All right, so today we're welcomed by the C4 team. Guys, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, so I'm Brian. I'm the CEO at C4 Fabrication.
Yeah, I'm Sam. I'm the marketing director at C4, and yeah.
No, I'm really excited to be here with you guys today. I think I was telling you all, I've got a 4Runner, and so I've really been, um, you know, uh, really into building it out, like kind of the way that I've done a bunch of research. It took me like about a year to research all the different products I wanted to put on there. And the C4 bumpers are like the last thing to go that I need to put on my 4Runner. So I've been watching you guys for a long time. Love the products, love what you guys are doing. And I think today we just want to kind of share that with everybody listening. So yeah, tell me about the products. Tell me about, the warehouse, what goes into making it, designing it. There's a lot that goes into a bumper.
Yeah.
So let's just maybe start there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as far as the 4Runner products specifically go to, the Low Pro is probably, I think, our first product for C4. So that one's been around for a long time, and it's just been a classic design that, everybody seems to love. So we haven't really changed it since, and pretty much just started adding more products to the 4Runner lineup and then the Tacoma as well. But yeah, as far as the design process on that particular bumper, that one was way back in the day when the owner just designed it out of cardboard and just transferred it to sheet metal and then ended up going from there. And we sold that bumper that way for probably 3 years at least. And then we finally brought it into SolidWorks and kind of cleaned it up a little bit and made it a little bit better. But after that, then we started doing 3D scans of vehicles and then bringing those scans into design around.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it started literally with a sketch on a piece of cardboard.
Yep.
Like the whole company, that's how it started.
That's how it started. It was just on cereal boxes.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that goes into the bumper itself. Like this finished product here that we're looking at. Obviously the measurements have to be accurate. A lot of QA goes into that.
Yep.
Understanding, from a design perspective. Well, let me ask, what platform do you guys use to design the product?
We're in SolidWorks.
Okay. SolidWorks.
Yep.
So you're designing it in SolidWorks to the specifications. Are you getting any of those measurements from the auto manufacturers themselves? You pulling it off their site at all, or just based off of what you know because you've been doing it so long?
Yeah. So unfortunately, Toyota doesn't share any of their scans or models or anything like that. So we're pretty much left to get a vehicle in, scan it with the bumper on, take the bumper off, scan it again, and then kind of overlay the two. That way we can decide where we're going to make a cut line or just how the product's going to fit in the end.
Got it.
So yeah, everything's just all scanned, and our scanner is just a hand scanner that just tracks with geometry.
Okay.
So we'll just scan it, see if it looks good. If it does, then we'll just check a couple measurements and then take off from there.
Got it. Makes sense. So a little bit of trial and error there when you're designing a bumper for like for example, the new Gen 6 4Runners. You're going to go through that whole process, come up with a bumper, test it. Maybe something's off a little bit, so you'll go back to the drawing board, redesign it to fit that specification. Then.
Yep. Yeah, that's
cool.
exactly right.
Cool. That's awesome. What else are you guys working on right now? Like, what's something really exciting in the shop that you guys are doing?
Yeah, the big one for us is the new Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
We just got ours about 3 weeks ago, so it's been a little bit of a mad scramble trying to get that and our Tacoma done. So yeah, really it's trying to hit the Land Cruiser hard. I think this next pretty much this fall.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to do. We got a Low Pro and full skids done, so we need a couple more skid plate things, and then rock sliders, rear bumper, some high clearance sides for our Low Pro, and then full size front bumper as well.
That's
so
awesome.
We want to have a full product line for this in the next few months.
Yeah.
And then the fourth gen Tacoma too. We're gonna we did a OEM plus build on it this first round, and then so stage 2 now and do full size bumpers, try to get swing arms and
cool.
really round out the product line for that.
That's awesome. What's the feedback on the Tacoma that you guys have been getting?
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of good feedback. Obviously, it's a pretty popular platform since this is the first time Toyota's refreshed it in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I think it is an exciting platform. New engines and more power and just not as under geared and everything as the third gens were. So we've seen a lot of good feedback on them. The products, I think, like Brian said, being OEM plus, I think, is kind of the direction that most people are going, especially with these expensive trucks. So yeah, we've seen a lot of people happy with the OEM kind of lightweight builds and whatnot.
Yeah, that's awesome. So obviously you're mentioning the new platform on the Tacomas. We've got the 4Runner coming out soon. What are your expectations for that? I mean, I know there's already some out there that people have been playing with a little bit. Do you have expectations for that right now? Maybe too early to ask.
It's tough to say.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of mixed reviews on the 4Runner. I think some people love it, some people don't, and I think it's going to be tough to compete with the Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll come down to price.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially with these vehicles too, like you said, being all similarly priced, all getting kind of expensive, similar size, dimensions, and they relatively do all the same thing too. So I think it's just down to preference.
Yeah, pretty much just comes down to the look.
Yeah, I totally get that. I think we're starting to see a lot of the automakers are making products specifically for this market, for this audience, and so you're getting a lot of crossover there. But yeah, there's still a lot to be excited about, like where this is going. And I think that even with the new platforms that are coming out in the Toyota series, there's a lot that people like brands like C4 are doing to really enhance those features.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think customization is a big perspective that a lot of customers have. Like, hey, how customized can this get? And like, what can I do to make this 4Runner or this Tacoma or this fill in the mine specifically, where people see it and they're like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so driving down the road. And I think that it's brands like C4 that are allowing people to really customize it the way that they see it. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially on these builds. Huge shout out to the partners that the brands that we partner with on these builds, and it really comes down to like what preference you want. If you want a low pro, if you want a full size bumper, and like you said, you're coming out with those product lines here in a couple months, but you can really just pick and choose what you want, and then when you accessorize with wheels and tires and tents and racks and stuff like that, you can really make these vehicles your own.
Yeah.
And we're super thankful for how these builds turned out, and obviously we have a little bit more to go, but we're stoked on these builds and kind of making these look the way that we want them to as well. For the company.
Yeah, looking at this, I mean, this looks sick. This is so cool what you guys have done with this. I love, like, there's a lot that goes into making something simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look simple,
right.
but also at the same time badass, right? And like the low pros, the one that you have for the Land Cruiser, these things are, I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes into it because they fit perfectly. Just looking at this today, and I think there's really something to be said about that. It's, as a customer, sometimes we don't realize how much work goes into making a product look simple, but also badass at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys crush that.
Well, and also just functional as well.
Functional
is the biggest thing for us, I think, is to have it look as OEM as possible. But now with, say, for instance, the Land Cruiser bumper, now you get the ability to put a winch in there. You get a light bar, you get extra recovery points, and you get extra protection in, all inside an OEM plus looking fit and finish.
Yeah. I was just going to say the same thing, as it's, look is one thing, but function is another. And to get the two to work together can be a challenge sometimes.
Needs to be a healthy balance.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, for sure. So you guys are at the Overland Expo this weekend. I know you guys come here every year. I think this is going to be one of the busiest years yet.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think there's going to be a lot more people here than some of the other shows earlier this year, at least.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you guys are back here again, highlighting and showcasing your products. We're going to do a little bit of a walkthrough, but how can people find you, right? Like if they're looking for a bumper, if they're looking for just a kick-ass functional bumper, and they're maybe doing a lot of research right now, obviously you have your website, but what kind of other channels do you have out there that people can really do some more research on C4?
Yeah, so I'd say, along with our website, check out our Instagram at C4 Fabrication on Instagram. And then we're also looking to do some more long format on YouTube this year and really show the products off, get out with some of our ambassadors so people can just really see what these trucks and our products could do. But yeah, C4 Fabrication on all channels, and then www.c4fabrication.com to check out the website.
Yeah, that's awesome. Also, too, not to forget about this, but you guys produce and make everything in house, and I think that that's something that's really important to point out too. So that long form that you're doing on YouTube, people will have a chance to see that potentially.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all produced in house. All of our content is, and then also all of our product is.
Yep.
All
in products in house.
Yeah.
Sturgis, South Dakota.
Yeah, we're just got a new laser a couple months ago, and
Cool.
got automation for it going in as we speak.
Nice.
So looking forward to coming home to that, hopefully being done, and really be able to crank some stuff out. But yeah, everything is made here in the U.S. and pretty much everything's in house as well. So all
Awesome.
hand welded.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at the weld jobs. You guys crush that too. Everything's done in house, and I think that there's really something to be said because you can manage the QA so much more effectively when everything's in house.
Yeah, that was exactly why we ended up doing it. So we'll be able to reduce lead times and then also just have the quality to what we expect, what the customers can expect.
All right, sounds great. Well, check them out on their website, and apart from that, have a great show, guys.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Cool. Yep. So this is our 2024 Land Cruiser. We just got these finished up about a week ago. So far we've got a low pro on the front of this. This houses a 20-inch light bar and a couple of more popular winches. Like this one is the OVS 12K winch. This also fit like a Warn 10S or 12S. We've got a recessed fairlead and a hook in there. And then we have built-in 3/4 inch shackles, and then all steel for the low pro and skids. So far we have a front skid package, engine, trans, and transfer case. No. Yeah, so here at the show we do have our bumper stands. We have 3rd gen Tacoma. These are our Overland series and then a hybrid series. We offer these in multiple different bull bar options. So this one is the mid-height with tube gussets. And then we have the triple hoop option down here. We also have a mid-height bumper as well. And these house a 30-inch light bar, have provisions for a winch. And then our hybrid has multiple cutouts for different lighting options, whereas our Overland can house just a single fog light, and then the 30-inch light bar as well. These come in at around 145 pounds, 150 pounds. Also all steel, handmade in South Dakota, laser cut, everything in-house, and hand welded in-house as well. And then over here, we have our 4Runner bumper. This is our 4Runner Low Pro. This is probably our most popular product. And this is for 5th gen 4Runners, 30-inch light bar cutout, provisions for a winch as well, built-in recovery points, 3/4 inch shackles, and then an optional bull bar that also has gusseting. Yeah. And then this is our Rock Runner series, kind of our more rock crawler type build. This is going to give you the highest clearance, and then it's also lightweight. This front bumper only comes in at 75 pounds, and that's without a winch or anything like that, but you can mount a winch in there. And then this comes with, also there's an optional cross member delete for even more clearance. And that angle is just crazy on those builds. They also have bolt-on side clearance additions. So we have a hybrid, kind of a tube option, and then a plated option that you can buy, mix and match, or just choose whichever one you want. Oh yeah, and then this is our ladder for 5th gen 4Runners. All laser cut and powder coated in South Dakota. That's nice if you want to access your roof or your ladder or your tent or anything up there. Good. So this is our 2024 Tacoma, so TRD Sport. And this is outfitted with our entire round of armor, including on the front we have our low pro with high clearance additions, kind of just like our 5th gen 4Runner. Adds a provisions for a winch, recovery points, and then it has full protection, some extra clearance for tires and whatnot on the sides. And this also has cutouts for some S2s or some 2-inch light pods, recessed fair lead and hook. And then we have full skids front to back on this thing. So we have engine, transfer case, diff, fuel tank. And then on the front of that, and then we have on the side of this, we have our rock sliders. So these rock sliders come standard with a kick out. They come standard with bolt-on tread plates. So if you have like dogs in the back or something like that, you can unbolt those and kind of add traction where is needed. These are fully bolt-on and then fully all steel, 1.25 DOM steel, all hand built in South Dakota. And then on the rear here, we have our 2-piece Overland rear. So this is BSM compatible. Comes with reverse light provisions, built-in license plate light. This bolts around your factory hitch because on these new Tacomas, the hitch is welded in. So it just kind of bolts around that. And then we have some extra bolt-on D-ring shackles. And yeah,